This is a review video of the Oupes power station, and it's installed in this awesome Honda-powered Baja Bug. Let me give you a rundown of this power station. It has a 1200 watt power inverter. It has USB outputs. It has USB-C outputs. It has a 12-volt panel and the typical cigarette lighter adapter port. The best thing about this power station is the display. The display is awesome. It has lots of information. It tells you how much power is coming in, how much power is left in the unit, and how many hours you have left with the current state of charge, running whatever devices you're running till it's empty. So up here, mounted permanently on the roof of this Baja Bug, are two 100 watt Oupes panels. They are mobile panels that you can set up anywhere you'd like and have power station on the go, but I mounted these permanently, so they are undergoing the ultimate durability and stress testing in these conditions. I never take them off this roof. They are actually screwed down. Right now, as you can see, there's snow everywhere on the ground, so they're getting exposed to the harshest of elements, and so is this power station. I am using it extremely rough. You could see it's all dirty. I've been using this for a couple months now, and I'm very happy with this system. It works really well. The amount of power that can be stored in it is great. The durability is great. I've been tossing this thing around, riding with it in the Baja, going 45, 50 miles an hour down these dirt bumpy roads. And you know, I got some scratches, some dings on it, but it has held up great and has worked flawlessly the entire time. I have no complaints about this system whatsoever. Right here is a key component to my new mini camper Baja build for the Beetle. I'm going to have a solar system inside the Beetle, make it a mini camper, so I'll be able to do overnight trips, have a bed in there, and have a power system for lights and fans and charging devices, whatever I need. It's going to all be centered around this Oupes power station. Now this power station, I have heard some good things about. It has a 1200 watt capacity for the inverter. I believe the system has lithium phosphate battery inside, and it has a pretty good capacity. I'm not really sure. I'm gonna have to take it apart, take it out and read the box and see what kind of capacity it has for a battery bank. But I think it's somewhere in the neighborhood of 30 amp hours. And it also has the same display that you see on the EcoFlow Delta. Now, that is my biggest gripe about power systems, is the display. I find that they're extremely lacking, and out of all the ones that I've tested, the EcoFlow Delta has the best display out of all of them. So I'm excited about this system, excited to test it out, and I've heard good things, that it's a high quality power system and has a low end price. So it's very affordable, but also very high quality. So that's good. We'll just cut this box open and get to the good stuff. And of course, we have a box within a box. All right. There you can see is the new power station. It's the Oupes. It's O-U-P-E-S. Not sure how it's pronounced. I would really like to find that out. But this is the part I'm most excited about right there. It looks just like the EcoFlow Delta, and if it works the same, I'll be stoked on the system. Let's open it up and see what's inside the box. Okay, this is going to be your wall charger and solar cables. It comes with a instruction booklet, which is pretty thick. Little warranty guide. Your brick for charging. And it's the 110 volt plug and the car charging plug. One thing I do not see so far is MC4 connectors for a solar panel. Let's lift this up, see what we got. Okay. Alright, comes wrapped in a bag. Take this bag apart. Alright, so there you have it. It's the power station. Looks a lot like a Jackery to me. And it's got this interesting rubberized thing on the side. You'd think that this is just hard plastic, but it's actually like a rubbery thing. So power button, you turn it on, That's interesting. I get nothing. I get nothing at all. Oh, there we go. Wow, you really have to hold that button down quite a bit for it to turn on. We're at 56% right now, and I'm gonna put a charge on this and see kind of how it goes. On the one side here, we have 3 outlets for 110 volts. And on this side, we have 2 quick charge 3.0 Qualcomm USBs. Then we have 2 60-watt USB-Cs, and then we have a regular like plug type of output. This is very typical that you see on power stations. I'm not sure what they call this, but it's like a barrel style plug for a 10 amp 12 volt output. And then you have the typical cigarette adapter car charger type style. So that's that. That's all the features except for this. It has a glowing white light on the back, which I've had a Jackery 500, an Explorer 500 that had a light on it, and the new Bluetti EB70S, I believe it is, that has a light on it as well. And I find this to be very useful. Some people think it's corny or cheesy, but I think the light is very useful. Ooh, it even has the SOS feature. But you know, when you are in a place where you need power, sometimes light is hard to come by. So one thing that's great about this unit here is you can see this has a percent of charge, 56%. It has how many hours are estimated that this will stay on for powering whatever it is. Right now it says 31 hours because all I have on is just the inverter. So just with the draw from the inverter, you're gonna get about 33 hours right now of charge. And then over here, it tells you how much wattage is going in and how much wattage is coming out. I find this to be a great display. One thing that these solar generator companies need to do is to make this almost like a little mini computer. I want to see all the information possible when I am relying on one of these systems. I want to see how much power I have left, how long till it's empty. I would like to even have options on how long to keep these on. If they say they stay on for 12 hours and they don't feel any draw, sometimes they shut themselves off. I would like a way more complex display control system for these solar generators. That's something that these manufacturers, I wish they would get up to speed with and just put like a little mini computer in here, like a Raspberry Pi type of thing, because it needs a lot more information, especially when you're relying on this as your only source of power. You want to see how much is coming in through the solar panels, how much is coming in through the charging block or the cigarette adapter, and how much is going out with every device that you have hooked up to this. So to me, it's important to have a better display. This one has one of the best ones I've seen, along with the EcoFlow Delta. So the only thing that I have to complain about with this system is that it did not come with a cable for the solar panels. I guess maybe if you get the solar panels, they'll have the cables to plug into this. But to me, it should come with the MC4 solar panel plug that goes into their input here. I don't know why it didn't come with that. Every other solar system I've ever gotten has pretty much come with them. But overall, so far, I think it looks good. Time will tell as far as how rugged this is, how useful it is, how much power it holds, and I'm excited to get it going. The Oupes power system is going to be my sole source of power in the Volkswagen Beetle Baja. So stay tuned for a lot of build videos about the mini camper in the Baja Bug that's going to be towed behind the bread truck. Can't wait to get this stuff installed, put my roof rack on. It's going to be awesome. All right, everybody, are you ready for part 2 of this Oupes power station video? I got another package. I got 2 separate shipments, and this package is the solar panel. So we're gonna open it up real quick. I bet you thought this video was over, but it's not. I'm here with part 2. Let's get into it and check out these solar panels. Now the Oupes system, it's a 1200 watt power inverter, and it is capable of handling 200 watts of solar. Here we have it. The Oupes 100 watt solar panel. This is a mobile panel. open this up, Velcro strap to hold it in, and it's a 4-fold panel, and that's what we got. 4-fold panel. Oh, there is a pouch here. Let's see what's in this pouch. Open this up. Hopefully there's solar panel cables. There we go. Oh, this is interesting. This is very interesting. So this one, it doesn't have MC4 connectors. It goes straight from the solar panel to the power station, and there's no MC4 connectors. That has some downsides to it. This can't be used with just any power station. This is going to have to match this barrel connector in order to connect to anything. So if it doesn't have this barrel connector, the solar panel won't be useful. I don't know why they would do it that way, but they did. And then what you have here is a splitter. It's a 2-way splitter, so you can hook up the 2 panels into one connector. So that's about it. Stay tuned. We're gonna have a much more in-depth video about these solar panels and the power station, and have it installed into my vehicle so that you can see it working, what kind of draw you can put on it, battery life, charging time, all of those kind of things. I am building the ultimate off-road backwoods adventure vehicle right now. That peeking through the back little firewall is the Honda 2.4 liter K24 motor. It's got a ton of power, nearly 200 horsepower in this small little vehicle. So right now, I just have it on the passenger seat. Typically, I don't have a passenger seat in here, and I have a bed platform where this bed, where the seat normally is sitting. There's a bed platform that extends from the floorboards up front all the way to the back to nearly that firewall. So this is going to be an off-grid backwoods camper, and it's really going to be able to get me every place that I want to go. Let me see, I'll just power it on. We're nearly fully charged right now. And I'll plug it in. There we go, you hear the fans turn on. The little display right here comes on. And boom, we're charging. 45, 62 watts that are coming in from the solar panels. They got a little bit of snow on them, so they may not actually be working as best as they could, but this is the winter time right now. And the sun isn't very high in the sky. So even though I have 200 watts of solar panels up there, they're not going to be bringing in the full amount. But I think this is great for what setup I have right now. So I've been using this power station for a long time, at least about 4 months now, and I haven't had the Beetle because I've been putting this Honda motor into the Beetle, so I haven't had access to the car. Now I'm starting on the camper conversion on this car, where I'm going to integrate the Oupes power system with the solar panels into the mini camper inside, and it's going to be my permanent power source for this vehicle. Throughout the summer, I was charging the Oupes power station off of the 200-watt panels that are up top, and it did an excellent job. It was able to take this power station from nearly empty, say 15%, all the way to 100% in a single day. Now, I don't exactly expect it to perform that well in the winter time, but I think it will do a pretty darn good job of keeping up with my power demands. They're not going to be very extreme in the Beetle. All I'm going to need to do is run my laptop, cell phone, and the diesel heater and some LED lights, and that's it. So I think it will totally be sufficient for what I need it to do. I've even run into the issue where I accidentally drained the battery in the Beetle because I left some things on and I didn't realize they were switched on. So I was able to take my battery charger, plug it into the Oupes 1200-watt inverter, and wire it up to my battery that is right here underneath the back seat, and I was able to charge my battery back up to 100% with no issues at all. I was able to charge myself, get myself out of trouble, all from within the Beetle and using the Oupes power station. Now I've taken out the seat and I've put in the passenger side bed platform so you can get a better idea of what this mini camper is going to be like when it's in camper mode. My feet will go down there underneath the passenger dashboard, come down here, and then to this nice platform in the back. And you can see the Oupes power station sits on the back little parcel shelf that's normally behind the back seat. This would be a great setup for doing some camping, small little off-grid trips. It just doesn't take much to be comfortable. If I get a heater in here, I'll be very comfortable on the road, sleeping in my car. I'll make some little window coverings for all the windows so people can't see inside. And I think I'll be able to travel pretty much anywhere I want to go in this Baja Bug all by itself. Once I get it all set up, I'm going to have a little bungee cord strap to hold this power station in place so that it can charge going down the road and it won't fall down, it won't bounce around and fall out of its place. And I think it's going to live right up there or on the driver's seat over there. So I'm going to be permanently installing this power station as my only source of power in the Baja Bug. As you can see, there's kind of a big hole back here where the motor's poking through. I intend to make a metal cover that's going to bolt in place to seal off the passenger area from the motor that's kind of peeking through into the car. This is not a stock Volkswagen motor. This is a Honda 4-cylinder, so it takes up more room than it ever did when it was a stock motor in here. So I had to cut a hole in the firewall here so that the engine had room to sit inside the car. All right, just to give you an idea of what it's going to look like, this is me laying down inside the Beetle. My feet go up underneath the dashboard on the passenger side, and I have plenty of room to lay down fully flat. And it even comes with like a little elevated headrest for my head. I'll put a little pillow back here and I'll be able to sleep very comfortably. I just wanted to throw out a little disclaimer. Oupes provided this power station and the solar panels to me at no cost so that I could review this product. So just consider that if you're thinking about buying a power station for your own rig or your camping needs or whatever. Just for comparison, I wanted to show you a difference between the Blue Eddy EB70S. This is a comparable power station, but I think the Oupes actually wins out the battle in just a couple of ways. They're very similar, but the Oupes has a 1200 watt power inverter, where the Blue Eddy EB70S only has an 800 watt power inverter. One major big advantage of the Oupes power station over the Blue Eddy is the display. This is the kind of display that I like to see in a power station. It tells you way more information. This is kind of like the EcoFlow Delta power station in the display. It tells you how much power is coming in, how much power is going out, the numerical battery percentage, and it also tells you an estimated amount of time on how long of a charge you have at the current draw. As you can see on the Blue Eddy, it has less information. It only has the 10, 40, 60, 80, 100 power bars for the battery state of charge. It shows you what's coming in and what's coming out, but it doesn't tell you what the estimated duration of how long the battery is going to last based on the charge that you're using it at, the draw that you're using it at the time. They both do have a light. The Blue Eddy has one on the front. The Oupes power station has this really cool light on the back. Let me turn it around and show you. It has this diffused light bar. So when you turn it on, it kind of just throws light everywhere. That's low. It has high. And then it also has SOS mode in case you were in trouble and you wanted to set this out and try to get some help. But this light bar is great. If you are in a place that has no lights, you turn that on and it kind of just throws light everywhere. Where the Blue Eddy is more of a pinpoint spotlight type of light. It works too. It's still handy, but it's still not as good as the light bar, in my opinion. Another thing I have noticed with these two power stations is that the Blue Eddy probably does have a slightly better MPPT charge controller inside. When I split these panels up, see, I have them going into a Y connector where both panels are being put into one unit, so it's running 200 watts into the unit. This unit is totally fully charged, plus I believe it's under freezing temperature because we're in the snow right now, so it's not allowing it to show any charge coming in. But when you have these separated and one panel going to the Oupes and one panel going to the Blue Eddy always has a faster rate of charge. So the You know, say you have 60 watts coming in on the Bluetti, you might have about 45 watts coming in on the Oupes power station. To me, it's not a huge deal, but if you really want a little faster charging, I think the Bluetti wins in that category. Another thing about the Oupes power station that I'm not real crazy about is this handle on the top. The handle on top, it's always there, so you can't stack anything on this. If you're in a camping situation and you want to have this with another thing on top of it, whatever it may be, this isn't the best form factor because you can't stack anything on top. That's one thing I do like about the Bluetti power station. It has this folding handle. You can carry it by the handle, and then if you want to stack something on top, you fold it away and it's gone. All in all, I do like the Oupes power station. I think it's really great. Performance is great. It works really well. It charges fast. It has plenty of power to run whatever devices you want. 1200 watts is a big power inverter for such a small unit. So all in all, I'm really a fan of the Oupes power station, and I recommend it. I just wanted to give you a quick rundown on the stats on this power station. It is a 31 amp hour battery inside of this, and that is LiFePO 4 power, which is pretty much the preferred type of lithium chemistry that you want in your camper or rig or whatever. 31 amp hours is a pretty good size. That makes this about a third the size of a 100 amp hour battery. It has 310 volt plugs. It has the cigarette adapter, the barrel plugs for a 12 volt panel, 2 USB-Cs. One is 60 watts and the other one is 18 watts. And it also has 2 USB quick charge 3.0 power ports for whatever devices you'd like. It also has, of course, the input for car charging, home charging at 110, and solar panel charging from the Oupes solar panels. So if you need power for your rig, your camper, whatever kind of outings you want to go on, try out an Oupes power station. I think they work great. The power station goes well with 200 watt panels, and I highly recommend them. I have been using them for months and they work great for me. We're going to give it a long-term durability test and see how well these panels hold up outside in the elements 24 hours a day in the cold, the heat, and all of that. So far, over about 4 months, they've held up just fine. There'll be a link to this power station and the solar panels down in the description of this video below. So if you're interested in a power station, check out Oupes. It's a good, budget-friendly power station. Thank you for watching this channel. I hope you hit that thumbs up button and stay tuned for all the camping adventures that's going to go on in this awesome Honda-powered Volkswagen Baja Beetle.